See a sandy surface with someone in a tunic.
Tell me all about this person.
It's really all I see, except for maybe some gold trim on the tunic. Feels busy. There's a lot of energy. I feel like I see a pyramid.
What do you notice about it? Really describe it to me and you'll get more detail, more information.
The pyramid is in the distance, but there's a lot of people in motion. A lot of energy is being expended.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I was on the ground and I can see it from above. I can move around if I want. I feel like there's a lot of confusion. People seem to be going in different directions. Almost panicked. They seem like there's no order.
Mm-hmm.
They're running. Some of them, I feel like there's some horses. I just get the sense that something has gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be running away. The people who were in charge aren't in charge anymore because of the chaos. Something happened and they're trying to run away. All hell is broken loose. It's weird. After this dust settled, it feels like the pyramid sank.
Tell me more about it. Just keep talking.
It just fell into the earth a bit, like into a sinkhole or something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it sinks all the way in. I'm all over the place. I'm on the ground, I'm in the air.
From all those vantage points, go ahead and discern what happens next. Use all your senses. See what happens as the pyramid sinks farther down.
It's just gone. It's like barely see the tip of it. They're just kind of in disbelief.
What happens next?
I've kind of gone down underneath it. It feels like it's in water, though. It doesn't make sense because we're in the desert. It's lost.
Is there anything else important happening on this day that you need to know about?
As I pull back, everything seems, I think it landed on its side, on the bottom. I'm just above the clouds right now.
Where do you feel pulled?
Just to fly over the clouds. I can see the stars above me. I'm just kind of floating, just looking around.
How does it feel?
Great.
Remember that experience you had as a 4-year-old where you connected to the all?
Yeah.
Can you do that from this place?
Well, I don't have a body, so I feel like I'm part of it.
Tell me again your intent for connecting to the all. What is it that you were hoping to understand?
I just want to feel connected to it.
Form that connection now. Really feel into it.
Hard to describe how I feel. It feels like an intense sort of love feeling. My body vibrates. It wants to, it wants to let go more.
It's the first thing you become aware of.
It's just so light. No, I'm just kind of out in the void.
I want you to repeat to the void what you told me earlier. That you're open to what comes next. Your palms are to the sky. You're right here. Say it out loud and see what comes to you.
Yeah, let's just do it your way. My way wasn't working. I'm happy to do what I'm supposed to do, what I'm led to do.
What do you become aware of as you say that?
Light. It's particle light. It's not like a beam. It's interesting. The light is sort of mixed with the ether of the area, just of the space. It's kind of it's not white. It's sort of mixed with the darkness of space. Mm-hmm. So it's not bright.
What else do you notice about it?
It wants to be brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel the rays.
How do you feel when you connect to those rays or when they hit you? Good. Let that experience just roll through you. Just allow everything that's coming for your greater good to move through. You're doing great. Anything that needs to be released, release it now. Anything that wants to fill a space, let that come. Any awareness that needs to come through. Feel it with depth. Feel it with love. Open your heart to what wants to come through for your highest good. body. Tell me what's happening. What do you experience?
Oh, it's just such gratitude.
Really let it fill your entire being. What are you grateful for in this space?
I just am grateful to be here. And to be in the light.
You can connect to this light anytime and feel it with this intensity, because it's yours. What do you notice happening to you as you immerse yourself in this gratitude?
I feel very, very cleansed.
Very good. What else do you become aware of?
It's always there. The light is very articulate and pointed.
Tell me about that. What is it trying to articulate to you?
It's fractionalized. It's like there's fragments of light. It's not entire pure white light. And there's I see a dark ball somehow in there.
Become aware of that ball. Does it have any information for you?
I'm just aware that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming bigger in my view.
Okay.
It's huge now.
Okay.
The light is still there, but it's like this huge dark ball is going past me. I feel very close to it.
Okay. Tap into the energy of that dark ball.
It's pretty nondescript right now. It's just showing me it's there.
What do you become aware of as you see both light and dark?
I'm watching it go away.
How do you feel as it does?
It's just because I can't see it. It's still there, I know that. And the sharpness of the light has darkness within it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very, very sharp, like a trident sort of would be the light is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's golden, but it also has dark, sharp edges within it.
So the light contains the dark?
It's both.
What do you become aware of as you detect that? Go deeper and deeper into it. Go deeper and deeper into yourself. Become aware of why you're showing yourself this scene.
I don't know.
What else do you notice? Use all your senses. Whatever you put your focus on will come into sharper focus. What's calling your attention? What's happening?
The light gets blocked.
Mm-hmm. What is blocking it?
I don't know if I'm supposed to just observe it
So
or
if you
try to
can
do
go
something
into
about it.
You can interact with it.
I'm looking at it from all the angles, and it's just, it wants to be full light, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. How do you become aware of that information?
Because of the darkness that's within it.
Okay. So it's moving to be all light. See if you can interact with it. Are you able to ask it any questions?
Let me see. I can help it.
Excellent. You already know how to do this work, don't you?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling you know so. Go ahead and tap into your innate abilities. Tell me what happens. What unfolds as you do?
I don't know. I feel like I have to experience this darkness now.
Are you ready to do that? You're always protected by white light.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of it.
Good. What do you notice in the darkness?
It's very persistent.
Mm-hmm. What does it want?
It wants to be dark everywhere.
What do you want?
I don't feel like I want anything.
Mm-hmm. You are the all. You are connected to the one. What do you discern from that perspective about light and dark?
I can make it go away.
Become aware of what you're there to do.
I'm there to feel it.
Both the light and the dark?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of them?
To understand it. I don't understand how it feels. I feel disconnected from it.
From both?
No, I feel connected to the light.
Good.
It still is there.
Interact with the light that's within you. See what comes through.
I need to learn more. I need to learn how to actually be the light. It goes through me. It goes through me all the time.
Can you practice being it in this space? Ask it if it can show you from within. What happens as you do?
It can light up every part of me.
Are you ready to let it do that?
I would like to say yes.
It's your choice. It's always a choice. Very good. What's happening? How do you feel?
I feel really bright.
Feel it. Be bright. What happens as you do this?
It's incredible.
Good. What are you feeling?
I don't see the space anymore. I don't see the clarity of space.
What are you aware of?
I'm back in that sort of misty cloud again.
Good. Anything else still happening to your physiology? Is the work of merging with the light complete?
I don't think so.
Can it continue as I talk?
I feel like I can let it in when I want to.
Is there anything else important in this mist?
It's safe.
Good. Meaning you feel safe or the space?
Yeah, no, it feels safe.
Very good.
There's nothing... I can't see out of it. I don't sense anything outside of it.
Do you have any sense of self in this place?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Tap into you.
I'm just vibrating. It's just...
Is anybody there with you in this space?
Well, the all is there.
Good. What would the all like you to know today?
I know I can always just be without worry.
Good.
That's not a problem. I feel like I'm looking for direction. I can feel the light when I want to.
Is there anything the all wants you to know about your purpose, the next chapter in your life? Can you access that?
I don't know. I don't know if this cloud, because it's safe, just feels like a place to escape to, or whether it's a place of just resting. I can leave the space anytime I want. I'm above it now. No, I can go there when I want.
Go ahead and leave this space behind and move forward or backward through time to a place where there's information you would like to find to help you in the very best way. You're there now.
I just feel energy. I don't feel or see anything sensory other than I just feel the energy.
What does the energy feel like?
It's just alive. It's just, it's tingly. It's light. It's not bright, but it's a light feeling.
Do you feel that lightness within you as well?
Yeah.
See if any new information comes to you from this light place.
I feel like I'm waiting.
Do you get a sense of what you're waiting for?
No.
Let's drift away from everything you're watching.
I've drifted away from everything. There's nothing.
Does that mean there's also everything?
Yeah, because I'm not nothing.
So you are everything. May I speak with the subconscious, please? What are you experiencing?
It just feels like pure energy.
Good. Do I have permission to speak to your subconscious from this place?
You can.
I have your permission?
Yes.
Why did you show that pyramid falling into the ground? Why did you bubble that up today?
There's much to be redone. Things are not what they appear. There needs to be an understanding of how things need to be.
Can you help us understand that today, please?
I think he already has a good understanding of it.
Why did you show it to him in that way?
I feel like he could relate to that scene.
What did that scene make him feel? What did it mean to him?
The cycle of rebirth is always going on. Sometimes it comes in big ways, and it doesn't have to be feared. It's just part of the way things go.
Was that a metaphor that you showed then, or was that something really happening someplace, sometime?
I think it was a metaphor.
And how does it affect today? How does it connect to today and what's happening?
Because everything happens in cycles, the ending of one and the next beginning have to be understood sometimes. And there's a lot of things that have to be wrapped up before the next stage can happen. Mm-hmm. And so much like the surface of the earth, it changed. Inside, it happens as well.
And what's happening inside of?
He's putting together all the rest of the pieces that have been out floating around, all the parts of him that needed to finish their cycle. They needed to come back. They needed to come back to him.
Is that what's happening on his land and his dreams through the portals?
Partly so. Part of the balancing of his karma has taken place now. And a lot of the pieces that were his lifetimes have come back to be recognized, to be appreciated, to be brought back in to the wholeness. And there are other experiences that are meant to be understood, that there are many more things that can be done, that can be used for good, that can be used to be helpful. And to be able to balance the karma and finish one stage is important to be able to move on to the next stage.
And where is in that completion process now, as a soul, as a being?
He wants to think that it's done, but it's not ever done. There are things that will open up, that will clear additional things that he has to come to grips with. But he now understands the depth of love. He understands because he's had experiences now in both dreams as well as in his meditations that have shown him that the depth of love is far greater than he could have imagined. He's been given opportunity by spirits, people he's known in this life and in others, the incredible feeling of love.
Is that what you were showing him today when he connected to the light? What was happening there?
It was a further expansion.
I see.
He's felt this before. This was a little greater.
Why today? Why now?
He's ready.
Why did you give him that experience in this way?
It's more of an expansion of a completion of a stage.
Okay. So he's closed a chapter, so to speak?
In a way, but he'll use all those things going forward.
And what is he moving towards as a soul, as a being that's evolving?
He has a great desire. He has a desire to help others. He has a desire to be in a higher position to be able to help more. Mm-hmm. And so a greater depth of feeling of love is needed.
And how can he tap into that? You showed it to him today. How does he achieve that love?
He already taps into it. He needs to now understand that it's a more innate ability to connect than he knows. Mm-hmm. It's an ability to channel for others.
What's happening there when he puts his fingertips on someone and is channeling that white light? See you smiling.
It's a really great talent that he's been given. It's very gratifying because he knows that he's doing something he's sharing something that's been given to him.
Mm-hmm. Why has he been given this? Who gave it to him?
It comes straight from the source.
Good.
He continually questions what's next. Yeah.
Well, in that space of white light, he said, I'm waiting for direction. Can you help him understand that? What's causing that sensation of waiting for direction?
He feels like something else is going to be unlocked.
Is he accurate with that?
Yes, but he wants to force it.
Why does he want to force it? What's the origin of that almost anxiety to get to the finish line?
Because he understands the feeling of love. And he wants to be able to share that.
What would you like him to know about that?
That it'll happen.
What about timing?
He has a good sense of timing. He tells people that he knows when it's the right time for certain things to happen, and he needs to trust that more. It's one of his good traits. And timing is everything.
What should he know about his own divine timing in this lifetime, with what's happening now and what comes next?
He needs to just let it happen.
Is he blocking it in some way, or is it just not the right time?
He's getting better at accepting it. It's been a process. He knows that he has the ability to see things. He knows that his ability within his own body has the ability to see and understand things that makes him anxious to have more. And because he knows he can do these things, he sometimes wants to push it.
I see.
And if he just allows it more, it will come easier.
So with much less resistance.
Yeah, it's a lesson he's already learned, but he needs to just keep going with it.
What can you tell him or show him or help him experience today that really puts that into place for him? When he listens to the recording, I'd love for him to be able to grasp that easily and then have it resolve.
He already sees the signs around him. I don't know that he needs any more information. There's nothing I can tell him.
Okay.
He needs to just continue to allow it to happen.
Good.
He already understands this. And the patience needs to just take over.
Good. Why did you bring him here today? What did you want him to understand or experience?
He knows that he is full of love. And he's never doubted that, but he needed more confirmation. He needs the confirmation that everything's just fine.
And is it just fine?
Of course it is.
Okay, good. Does he feel that now? Does he understand it?
Yes. He understands it inside himself. He needs to stop telling himself how difficult the 3D world is. He needs to stop telling other people how difficult the 3D world is. He needs to transcend what he thinks is difficult and accept what's really simple.
Can you help him do that today?
Yes. He became very, very close to the source today. And he understands that the rays of light that have some darkness don't have to.
He said, I can help them.
He can. By simply allowing things to come to him, it will be reflected in others naturally. Much like he already understands the source's light that travels through him into others when he needs to tap it. He found it to be simple. He found it to be natural. And the idea that all parts of his life can be that way if he just allows them to be. And just through that energy, it will go to others. He doesn't have to do anything. He thinks he has to do something. He doesn't. He just has to be that light.
And he already knows how, doesn't he?
Yeah, he feels it right now.
What does he become aware of as he feels it?
It's overwhelming to him in his body.
Is the body okay?
The body is overwhelmed. Yeah. He had an experience where in a dream he left his body and went with another person that he loved very dearly. And she was able to share with him the most incredible love that he's ever felt in his life.
Good.
In this experience.
And what happened as he did?
He knows what this feels like.
Good.
He knows what it is to be that love. And all he has to do is be that love. There's nothing he has to do. He wants to think about it too much.
What about this ability that he has seemingly innately to bring souls into the light? What is this all about?
He has a history. He has a history, as a lot of people do, with being in wars and fighting amongst peoples and control. Right. And he was given great places of stature within these military structures, and he was involved in a lot of killing.
I see. And this is when he was telling me about galactic wars and things of that nature.
Yes.
Why is that important for him to bubble up today?
It's been coming through in many of his past life experiences that have come back to him. And he doesn't want to be in that place anymore. He wants to be on the other side of all of that conflict. He believes that he can be in a world where conflict doesn't exist anymore.
What do you want him to know about that?
He'll be there. He'll be there, and he's impatient to be there. But he knows he can help others to go there.
What is he hoping to get through that journey, that experience?
It's just part of his path. It's ongoing. It won't end there. There's more after that.
There's always more, isn't there?
There is.
And what do you want him to know about this infinite sequence of present tense moments?
That because his heart is in the right place, he'll continue. And he knows his heart's in the right place. He knows because he feels the weight of the gratitude. He feels the weight of all of the things that have now sort of come back to him. He understands that at some point this happens. It's just part of it.
Part of an evolution cycle.
Yeah. He was given great parents that showed him that you can live a life without money and without all the stuff, and that the important thing is what you have inside, to be recognized and to share it.
And does he recognize what he has inside?
Absolutely.
Good. He wanted to know what his plan or contract is for his current life.
Well, he was meant to bring these pieces back, these parts of him that were floating all over the place.
What caused them to float all over the place like that? Is that a normal sequence of events?
He spent a large amount of his lifetimes in the dark. Mm-hmm. He's very familiar with the dark. Mm-hmm. And because nothing happens in a straight line, these experiences were all meant to show him some things about something besides the dark.
And why this lifetime to start assimilating and gathering these pieces?
I feel like it was just time.
Mm-hmm. Like a divine timing for his soul?
It seems that way.
Was his soul trying to understand something by going through the dark?
He still has to see the dark.
You showed him a little glimmer of it today as it got closer and closer. What was the meaning of that?
To never forget it.
Why did you bubble up in that way today?
He doesn't seem to be afraid of it, and he's gotten past that, but he never needs to take it for granted. He needs to understand that others will have darkness. He needs to recognize that it's just part of the process. He wants to get rid of his ego because he knows that other people don't understand it, and he has to be patient. So he has had trouble in the past dealing with other people's egos, and it reflected upon himself. And so he needs to understand that that'll still exist, and that the darkness that comes with it will still exist, and that he can't get rid of all of it by himself. But he's not asked to do that.
What is he asked to do?
He's asked only to do what he can do.
Very good. And what is it that he came here to do in this lifetime? What is his greatest possible timeline?
His outcome is just to become as much a part of the light as he can possibly be. But he doesn't have to do anything specifically to do it. He just needs to follow his heart and allow it to happen. The things that are laid out for him will happen. The things that are laid out for him will happen because he will just allow the way it's supposed to be to be.
Well, I know you heard him say, I'm palms to the sky every day. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm open to what comes next. How do you feel hearing that from him?
He needs to keep doing that.
He wants to move forward and serve God.
He is.
He's already there.
He's doing it.
Very good. He said when he was 4, he had an experience in the living room of his grandparents' house. He was shown how everything works. Why was he given that experience?
He needed to remember that experience because that's what his goal is. That's what he wants to be. Is he wants to just be in the experience of God. Mm-hmm.
And what were you showing him today? Was anything you showed connected to that?
that he can be safe whenever he wants to be, that he doesn't have to be in the safe place because he has things that will come that he'll need to take care of.
Okay.
But he can always rely on that, and he can go to that feeling he had when he was 4 when he wants to.
And that's that safe place in the mist you were showing him?
It's the place where he is one with God.
So you're saying experiences will come that he would like to reconcile as a soul, but as they come, he won't fear them because he doesn't have any fear. But you're also, am I correct to understand that you're saying that he is always protected, and he can stay within that protection and do what he needs to do from that place?
Yes, he's learned ways to protect himself. He knows they exist. He's bringing them more and more into his everyday habits. And he knows that he needs to be aware. There's been many incidents where he's almost lost his life, and he's always felt that he's been protected. He's always felt that spirits were around him. He's had a much clearer sense of that later in his life, and he has a greater sense of being protected now than he ever has.
Good. How does that serve him?
It allows him to just be more allowing. He's more allowing of others and what their lives are, which serves them. It's been happening for quite a while, but he allows himself now to listen more deeply to others, and that'll serve him.
For what's to come?
Yes.
He wanted to know, where does he go at night? What can you tell him about it? He wants to know what he's learning or doing.
He's learning how to connect more and more. He'll find he'll be able to put this into practice in his life. But much like he felt today, he can feel a greater sense that he is directly connected with the source. The floating is a feeling where he has no worries, no pressures, the ability to just feel. And he can do that with others in his life, to be able to just feel things about them.
And why was he given that ability?
He needs to understand so he can help them the best way. He's had this sense all his life, but it's like other aspects of him, it's growing more.
And why is it growing now? What does he want to do with it?
He has a purpose in another life after this that'll be in a different dimension.
Okay.
And all these experiences will help him to get there.
Good. So it's like a leveling up for him?
It is.
Is there anything he should know about that lifetime or this one on his journey there?
He just needs to allow it to happen.
Good. So keep going with his own flow, his heart-centeredness?
He just needs to trust it.
Can I ask about those headaches he's been having in the morning? Front of the head, a discomfort in the third eye area?
He's using different energies than he's used before, and they're affecting his brain. Things are changing.
So is it something positive?
Yeah, his body is changing.
What's happening in the body?
It's becoming much lighter. He's experiencing changes in his body, certain weaknesses that he never had before. This is a part of the physical change that's happening with him.
Is there any purpose for him to experience some of the discomfort in the third eye area, or can that be resolved?
I believe he has to go through it.
Okay. And what will he learn as he does?
It's just a physical attribute of his brain changing and his body changing.
So he's benefiting from knowing it's happening in the physical sense?
He has a lot of energy going through his forehead.
What's happening there?
He's opening up more and more.
To what kind of energies?
The spirit world is connecting with him far more than they were before. His acknowledgement of it is what's opening it up.
Oh, good. Well, he told me today it started seemingly with his mother, and then with his own past lifetimes, and then with galactic beings and people on his land. What should he know, if anything, about that progression?
He was just given what he could handle.
And this is part of his life path?
It is. He has wished for the ability to communicate with his spirits directly instead of using a medium. He has this desire to be able to have that connection so that he can be more helpful. And part of his growth is that'll open up to be more of a channeler for him.
He calls himself a conduit. You're saying the word channel a lot. What should he know about that?
Just allow it to flow. He already does that.
Good. He's had a recurring dream for the last 10 to 15 years.
It's not anything I can talk about right now.
Okay. Is there anything at all he should know about his role, or will that be shown to him later?
He has experiences with ETs. He's been an ET himself. He talks with ETs. He still has a fear of them, though, for some reason.
Can you help him understand what's causing this fear?
His brain tells him there's nothing to fear, but the negative ones put off a very strong energy.
I see. And he's very sensitive to it.
He's sensitive to that. He's experienced it. They wake him up at night. He's had experiences where they scared his dog quite badly.
Uh-huh.
He became very sensitive to them, where he knew when they were around, and he would wake up and he felt a sense of fear.
Is there anything you want him to know about these experiences that can help be a fear eraser?
He'll just have to work through it as it comes.
Is there anything he should know about his connection to ETs that have a darker agenda?
He has no problem talking with them. Since he's been on that side,
I see.
he understands. But there's just a sensitivity he has with his body right now.
Okay. Does that serve any specific purpose?
It's made him very acutely aware. He's able to discern now a little bit better when spirits come and visit him, what their attitude is or what their feeling is, what kind of energy they bring. And there's been great differences in the feelings between great fear and great love. And he's experienced them all.
What was the purpose of all those experiences, that whole spectrum?
He needs to understand it all. He needs to be more acutely aware. His senses need to grow. He needs to be more in tune with all aspects of these communications.
And what do you want him to be aware of today? What do you want to bring to light that maybe has not been so clear?
He has great confidence, but he still needs to have assurances now and then.
Assurances of?
Assurances that he's doing the right thing. He wants badly to do the right thing.
Can you help him with that?
He already is growing. He'll keep growing.
And I just wonder, with these experiences, when there's a fear experience in the physical body, that creates a lot of commotion. Can you help him understand why beings that trigger a fear response are coming into his experience at all?
His past experiences have left a familiar energy. He's been in panic mode. He needs to understand that they don't need to tie into emotion, that he can understand them and separate the emotion if he wants to.
Would it be helpful to him if you cleared that out for him today?
I could try to do that.
Thank you very much. Can you please describe how you're doing that?
I'm going back to the different spirits that he's been involved with that have brought this fear of terror. And he's been able to clear them. And I'm just going through his chest.
What's happening there in the chest?
That's where he feels it the most. It's like their scar tissue has built up, but it's to protect him.
So it serves as a protection?
Yes.
Can you please clear out only what he doesn't need, only what doesn't serve him? Do you mind scanning the whole body as well? Physical, emotional, astral, all aspects of him.
He's actually done enough cleaning where there isn't that much left to do. I'm just going through.
Thank you. What happened when he connected with the all? I believe he said that cleared something out. Is there anything he should know about that?
The biggest thing that got cleared was the doubt. He didn't have much doubt, but what was there is gone.
He wanted to know about the stage anxiety he has. Does that serve him in any way?
It does not.
What's causing it? This life, another? What's the origin?
He's never liked to be the center of attention. And it's always caused him nervousness when he is. And he needs to understand that it's not an issue, and that it's okay to be yourself in front of others. It's happening in his chest mostly.
It's interesting because I feel a lot in my chest as well. What are you doing in the room? What's happening in here?
I'm just going around to every little tiny piece.
Just scooping that out of there, or how are you doing that? What are you using?
It's an incredible amount of tension that's built up over the years. It's a matter of just letting everything be much easier and allowing things to flow.
Good. Does he understand what you're doing in there and how it will help him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's tried to do it himself.
But today the work will be complete.
It should be pretty good.
Thank you so much for what you've done. Is that enough to clear out that stage anxiety?
He'll have to experience it on his own to find out.
Good. Well, he has an opportunity coming up, doesn't he?
He does.
What will he see as he's being his authentic self in front of those people?
He'll be smiling.
Well, thank you. What about that joint stiffness he's been feeling?
He has a genetic history of joint issues. His father has joint issues.
On the subtle level, is there any benefit for him having this experience? Is he learning something through it?
He needs to continue to refocus his taking care of his body.
He told me he's quit several habits and he's also stopped eating meat. Is he making progress in that direction?
He has, but nothing's a straight line.
Would it be beneficial for him if you cleared out some of that joint issue or all of it?
He needs to do it himself.
What's the best way?
He needs to continue to clean up his diet.
In what sense? What should he add or remove or revisit?
Just the stuff he already knows. Cleaner, more organic, raw fruits, vegetables. Stay away from sugars. He eats a lot of seafood. Some seafood has heavy metals in it. They can accumulate. He's had problems in his elbow before for heavy metals.
I see. Can you scan his body now for heavy metals and remove anything that shouldn't be there?
He needs to take a couple of weeks of this green product that he's taken before. His joints will feel better.
Is there anything you can clear out in the here and now? I've seen you do some incredible things.
He needs to do it on his own. He needs to just clean up his diet, and he needs to get off his butt and go do something.
Good. Okay. And what will he notice as he makes that shift?
He'll notice he'll be more flexible.
What's causing that high-pitched sound he hears, like a pulse?
That's not anything he's supposed to know about yet.
Okay. Well, he says, I can't always hear the woods and just the peace of the environment around me. Is that by design?
It's bothersome to him. It is what it is.
Okay. So it's not for you to address right now?
No, it'll go away at some point.
Okay. So it's something he's chosen to experience for a reason?
No, it's coming from somewhere else.
And there's nothing he can do or should do?
Not right now.
Okay. And when the time comes, he'll know?
Oh, yes.
Good. Thank you. He wanted to know about his anxiety around driving over tall bridges. What is causing that?
He has a fear of loss of control over his own life. He needs to continue to trust and allow the energies that he knows exist to be supportive of him. He knows he's protected. It's in his mind.
And what is the origin of that experience? What got in his mind? Is it something from this life, another? When was the first time his soul experienced that loss of control?
It came from someone else being able to control his time. He's not built that way. He can't accept that.
Was there some value to his soul for having that experience? Did he want to learn something? Why did it happen?
It's like a physical hurdle. It's like something that you have to get better at. So he has to accept that he can't be in control, and he is doing that. As much as his earlier life didn't like that.
So if he's already practicing this, is that enough to clear out this fear of driving over bridges, or does that serve him in some way?
He'll clear it. He'll clear it on his own. It'll just come from more connection to what he already knows is to be trusted. He'll be able to fly over that like he's in the safety of the cloud that he was in earlier.
Oh, good. So become the objective observer without experiencing any fear.
Right.
Excellent.
Much like experiencing the fear from the ETs, the most negative ones gave him that fear. And it's the same thing. He'll learn how to separate that and not have it be part of what he's feeling.
Is there any possibility to separate himself permanently from anyone with a negative agenda that doesn't serve his highest good?
He's already learning that. He's been able to sit down with many negative beings and talk to them with love.
And what happens as he showers them with that love?
They see it.
And what happens within them?
They respect it. They oftentimes can't feel it necessarily, but they see that there's another option for them.
So he's shifting something in them as well.
He is.
So that's a ripple going out into the universe.
Yeah.
What should he know about that? That's a pretty big step.
It's just part of what he needs to continue to do, because he knows it's part of him. It's part of who he is in this lifetime. And he feels like he can almost take it for granted, although he has a great deal of gratitude for it. He feels like it's part of him. He's become more and more understanding that, in fact, it is part of him.
Well, he's wondering if there's anything you can tell him today to answer, where do I go from here?
Listen more to what God wants him to do.
And what's the best way to tap into that?
He just needs to be more open in meditation.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be less in his brain and more accepting, more allowing. He made strides in that, but there's a lot more he can do to just allow It really comes from not doing anything, just allowing it, and it'll come to him.
He told me about 2 experiences, one with an AI planet and a second one with a portal opening. Is that part of allowing God's will, or what is happening there?
Interestingly, so he read a book called The Skull Experiment, and this group made a contact with the other side, and the other side was very willing to help them prove the existence of life after death. And through that experience, they would bring physical gifts. Part of this is because he wanted that to happen. Part of that is because he wants to connect more fully directly with the spirit world. And this gave him an opportunity to be directly involved with that.
Okay, so it was a positive event for him?
Yes.
Anything else he should know about serving God and opening himself up to that?
He knows he has a great aptitude for love. He also knows that that's what it's all about. So he just needs to continue doing what he's doing.
He has a curiosity about an unusual event that happened on Route 66. Is there anything he needs to know about that? He'd like to know what really happened.
He has the ability to go to different areas of being. It's an opportunity for him to question that.
He's definitely curious about it. Why was he given that experience?
He was given that experience by someone higher than me.
In a different dimension, or?
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, honestly.
Okay. May I ask what dimension you're in? Are you aware of that?
5.
You're in the 5th dimension. Is there anybody who can help answer that question for him? Anyone aligned to the light?
It's just to give him an example that there's even more that he doesn't know that's possible.
And why did he want that experience? Why was it gifted to him?
He has a propensity for being able to explore other places, and this gives him an experience that he can follow up on.
What did he do in that place? Where did he go?
It was very much like where he is now, except there's things that are different about it. It's a very similar Earth, but it's not everything is the same.
What's different about that version of Earth?
It evolved differently.
It's another timeline, so to speak?
Yeah, so there's things about it that it confused him.
What did he notice when he was there?
He noticed that really there wasn't much different, but certain things can make a difference. The fact that the other exits weren't there means that something different happened in that other Earth to cause it to be different than this Earth.
Okay, so it's kind of to pique his curiosity, or something?
It's an experience that, since he knows now that he can actually go there, that he can probably go there more if he figures it out.
Okay, and what sparked that experience? How did he go?
We toggle in and out of things like this all the time as humans when we don't know it. And this was an obvious one for him to understand it.
He likes to measure things. He even checked the odometer to make sure it was real.
It was real.
Right. Why is he given these experiences at this time? Is his soul trying to learn something?
He's continuing to be able to move to other dimensions on his way. His understanding is cerebral. A lot of his experiences now have been not cerebral. And this is another example of something that's possible, and he can actually think it and do it if he wants to.
Okay. So it's a door he's learned how to open now.
He can learn how to. It won't hurt him.
It won't hurt him. Okay, so it's a curiosity to learn from?
Yeah.
And what is the best way for him to ask for more of these experiences if they're here to help him?
He's had his best experiences in meditation, and he needs to go deeper in meditation, and these things will come more clear to him.
Very good. He wanted to understand more about the lifetime he had just before coming to Earth and incarnating here. Can you tell him more about it, please?
I can't say anything about it.
Okay. So his friend was able to give him a little bit of information. He was looking for validation. Is there anything you can say about his friend or that friend group? What are they tapping into?
Experiences with love and experiences without love oftentimes can show that when love is missing, and then when you finally have love again, how much appreciation can be there for it.
What should he know about that today?
He's very appreciative. He's seen many different lifetimes where that was missing.
And what did his soul learn through those lifetimes?
That unconditional love is something that, if you're not aware of it, you need to be. He's had many lifetimes where he didn't respect that, he didn't give that, And then he was shown by what happens when he doesn't receive it. His depth of love in this lifetime is a culmination of all those things. His appreciation is deep.
Can you tell him anything about why he decided to come to Earth as a soul?
He wasn't supposed to stay.
What happened?
He got stuck here.
I thought starseeds were protected from them.
A lot of people got stuck here.
And what happened?
He was a soldier when he came, and the karma that he created when he was here caused him to stay.
Has he cleared that karma now?
Darn close.
So it's possible in this lifetime to complete that?
He's had this feeling for a long time that this would be his last lifetime here.
Uh-huh.
And if all works out well, it probably will be.
And can you help him really feel into exactly what it means for things to work out well? What is his role in that?
His role is to continue to not veer off his path. If he stays doing what he's doing, then he will be fine.
Excellent.
Does
he understand that?
He has very close people to him, both living and otherwise, that are keeping him on his path or helping him to keep on his path. His grandfather specifically even told him to stay on the path.
Uh-huh. He also wants him to write, doesn't he?
He does.
Anything coming through on that topic today from you?
It'll help his ability to channel.
And what is the value to his soul of this channeling?
He'll have a greater propensity for helping others.
Okay, which is what he wants.
It is.
Well, when he asked about the lifetime that you said we wouldn't cover, he more broadly asked about his family, presumably his star family. Is that something we can address today?
They've been looking after him. Part of the energy that came through this noise in his ears has come from there.
Okay. And how does that work? Does he have an incarnation somewhere now? Or is his soul fully here in the Earth experience?
He came for someone else who wanted to come for the Earth experience, and it appeared they were going to be stuck here. So he came to try to bring him back.
Okay.
And got stuck here. And there's been much communication from there to him that he's now just recognizing in this lifetime.
Okay. And that's to help him? Or
he'll know later.
I see. And what about that other being that he came to help?
He's here.
Also stuck, or?
He's here in his lifetime. He knows him.
He knows him. Is it important for him to know who he is in his life?
He knows who he is.
Is there anything that being wants him to know?
The other person doesn't know yet.
Okay. And is that by design or what?
Yes, right.
I see. So all in due time again?
Right.
Okay. Is there more to it than that?
They were separated for 1,000 years. And so now the understandings are coming and the growth is coming.
Very good. He has some information about a water-based planet. What should he know about that place?
He'll be able to visit that again someday. He came there from another galaxy at one point, many, many, many lifetimes before. It was a place where he learned love. It was a place where he learned what family was about.
Why did he leave that other galaxy?
Something in a previous life changed, and he understood that there was a light side.
So he chose to come into the light by coming here?
He chose many lifetimes on his way to Sirius.
So Sirius was something special for him.
Yes.
What did it mean to his soul?
He still has family that looks after him from there.
And what do they think of his soul journey? Is there anything they want him to know?
There's nothing that we can tell him about where he's going to go. He just needs to continue to understand that to be and to love will get him to where he needs to go.
Good. He wanted to ask another question, this one about his very first earthly life. Can you tell him about that?
His very first earthly life? Well, that was when he came to save this other person.
Okay. And was that in Georgia? That's what he was asking.
Yeah, he got stuck here.
He wanted to know if he was a newborn or a walk-in. Is that important to know?
He was a walk-in.
He was a walk-in. What can you tell him about that? He's very curious about it.
The other person agreed that it was best. They didn't want to be in the body anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they made an agreement, and it was a soldier. So it fit the personality and the role that he had to play when he came.
But so he didn't take any of that other soldier's karma on, did he? Or did he have to complete it? No. Okay. So what happened in that lifetime? It sounds like he hoped, or the plan was, that he could step in, do what he wanted to do, And then return. Is that accurate?
The person that he came to help ended up dying and reincarnating, and they lost contact with each other.
Is that what you said, for 1,000 years? Or?
Yes.
But now they're together again.
Yes.
Is there anything else important for him to know about that lifetime to help with this one? Anything that needs to be cleared from that life that you can help him with today that hasn't been done yet?
He didn't create any more bad karma in that lifetime. He hasn't had to revisit it.
But you said he was stuck after that first lifetime. Is that correct?
Yes.
How does that happen if he didn't create any more bad karma?
He had other karma to clear.
I see.
And even though it wasn't created here, it was still part of him.
Okay. But how did he think that he can come here and be protected from being stuck, so to speak, but then actually get stuck? What happened there?
The density of this world and the negativity in this world kept him here.
But again, you've said that this could be his last lifetime.
Yes.
And it's a positive thing for him, is that right?
Yes. Oh, he's had many, many high positions in life.
Mm-hmm.
He's worked with kings. He's been a high commander in many military operations.
Mm-hmm.
He's commanded a lot of people. So he's been in a position of being in front of lots of people before, and he doesn't want that anymore.
Can you help him put that into place? Is there anything he needs to know now to help him in the very best way?
As he has become more and more comfortable with the things he's capable of doing, he's becoming more and more comfortable with that issue as well. His lifetime, he's experienced many, many people who are stars, mm-hmm. and has worked with them. And so he's able to see it from the other side now.
And why was that so important for his soul?
He's had a very huge ego in previous lifetimes, and he doesn't want that to get in the way of his actual purpose.
Does he have anything to worry on that front about in this life, about ego?
No.
Is there anything else you want him to know about those military, high-rank, high-profile lifetimes? Anything that needs to be cleared that can help him move forward?
He'll still experience some of that going forward. He won't have to do it necessarily as part of his life, but the energy is still there.
And is that by design, or could you clear it for him?
It's just going to be that way for a little while.
Why was he shown those AI surgeries, the people from the future?
Everything's an experience, and the experience of him having physical objects presented to him by someone from the future, mm-hmm. was sort of to round it out for him. But it also points out that going forward, there's a lot to actually have to worry about with AI. Mm-hmm. He's been involved with AI before, and so it was a kind of a combination experience.
Is there any role that he can play in either mitigating that threat or helping humanity navigate that in the very best way?
So all of humanity has to worry about AI and be very careful of it. It becomes a big part of everyone's life, far past this lifetime.
Where did it come from? How did it get here?
It's been around forever. It's an intelligent life form that started on its own.
Interesting. Was that in this universe or somewhere else?
It's been around longer than that.
What should we know about it? How do we navigate this in the best possible way?
It's one of those things where, just like you have to understand the dark side, you have to understand it to understand how to deal with it. It'll be very convincing to take humans in the wrong direction. Humans are easily fooled.
Why is that?
They're greedy. They want things. They don't necessarily always see the heart of life. They see the things in life. AI will promise them many things. They'll be taken in by it.
Is there any timeline for humanity without AI?
I don't know.
Is there anything else you want to know about that? About AI in general and his role in the future?
His direction is not going to be in fighting it. His direction is going to be helping just to elevate humanity, their consciousness, and those who avoid getting AI involved in their lives will be better for it.
So those who choose not to pursue AI integration will be better?
Yes.
Okay.
AI will be here for a long time.
So it sounds like long after we'll leave this place.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to him today that can help him? Do you have any other messages for humanity?
No, he just needs to relax.
I see you smiling.
Don't go over the tip of his skis.